Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 Live Feed Spoilers. Today is day 92. We are only 8 days away from the finale.
Mhm.
I need to ask you a very humble request at the
Mhm.
start of this video.
Mhm.
Are there any seats currently available on the Felicia bandwagon? I know it's late in the game, but yeah, let me just jump off this ship and swim over here to listen,
Welcome to Team Felicia.
it seems
Welcome.
it's always fun when you're on Team Felicia. I can say that much. She's gonna be snarky. She's gonna
Yep.
be honest.
Yep.
I'm out on Jag. I was out on Jag pretty much in the last update. I mean, we went into a lot of the reasons why. We'll go more into some reasons why here, but
Mhm.
it's not just about the whole, oh, you guys always want to root for the underdog. That's what everybody says in Big Brother all the time.
Mhm.
There's there's a lot more to it here, but we'll talk about some of that. The Halloween party yesterday, who is leaving the house at the Final Five eviction show tomorrow night.
Yeah, we are nearing the end of the game, but there's still a lot to talk about. So thank you so much to everybody who's been watching with us all season. Don't forget to hit that subscribe
Yes.
button. We are going to be here right till the end with this show. And that's the best way for you to stay up to date with our updates. And by hitting the subscribe button, you really help support Matt and
Yes.
I in growing the channel to be able to continue to bring you more Big Brother videos and to actually to be able to come back next season. So hit that subscribe button and show us your support.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Now, a bit of advice for everyone out there.
Mhm.
One, put on your hard hats.
Oh.
Two, keep them on for the entire video.
Oh.
This is the
Oh.
sort of video we
Oh
are in
no.
dark days, everyone. Very dark days as we get to the end of this season.
Okay, let's start with this news, which is that Cirie is still leaving the game tomorrow night over Felicia. And I mean, this is a hard one for me because Felicia's been my winner pick since the beginning of the season. I've been rooting for her, but I really like Cirie as well. So this one's been a hard one.
It's hard. I said earlier this season that Cirie to me is the best Survivor player to never win Survivor. We love Survivor. We're going to be covering it later tonight, in
Mhm.
fact, here at the channel. And I wanted to root for her, of course, just based on that. But, it's been fun to watch her. Like, I wasn't the biggest Jared fan in the world, but I really like watching Cirie and Felicia in particular. Even when they're fighting, I like watching the two of them.
I hope that Felicia wins this next HOH and just goes up to the HOH room and shuts that door.
Oh, that would be okay. We need to manifest fun things, manifest chaos, everybody.
Yeah.
Does Cirie actually know she's leaving? It seems that way. Like Jag and Bowie Jane are continuing to sort of assure her that she's fine, but Cirie is a reasonably aware person. I think in Cirie's heart, she knows that she is a big threat who has done very well over the course of several different reality competition shows. She's such a good social player that
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter if she can win competitions or not. It's just about, okay, what is she going to do when she's at the end? And that is probably wreck a lot of people's games.
Yeah, and at this point it's kind of like, it's Wednesday. Like what is the point of not telling her at this point? You might as well just let her know. If everybody's really set that she's going to go, then like is she going to be able to change anyone's minds this close to the end? Maybe. I mean, it's Cirie, but
Yeah.
probably not.
It just speaks once again to, I think, the selfishness of the Jag Matt Bowie Jane group, that they want to withhold information because they like the power, they like making people nervous, and there's no sense about it. And we'll keep going into this theme as we go along in this video, but it's one thing to talk smack, it's another thing to just do things that feel personal for no apparent reason. And even if they're not personal, it comes across that way from the outside looking in because there's no other reason to do it.
The three of them are some of the worst jury management I've ever seen. Like if that's where we're going here, where they're going to be at the end, then like, why are you sending people out the door feeling like clowns? It's the absolute worst non-strategy. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, at the end, it's still like, oh, do you vote for person A that you don't like or B that you don't like? You still have to vote for somebody, but like, what is the point of this?
I keep waiting. My dream is that someday when they're going up to put the keys in the end, somebody just like runs off the stage and doesn't do it. Like,
That's right. You put your key and free them? No, I'm going to eat that key.
what is this?
Now what are you
Prison
going to do?
break?
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
I thought there was a chance that was going to happen when it was Josh and Paul, because it's Josh did not win Big Brother. Paul lost Big Brother. I stand by that feeling.
I agree.
Okay, now it seems as though at this point it seems as though that Felicia and Cirie seem to think that Matt is maybe a little bit more innocent in terms of the plotting and scheming than he really is. I think some of this is just a part of the fact that Jag and Bowie Jane are the only two people voting, and they're the ones that have both told Cirie and Felicia that you guys are safe, so they're clearly lying to somebody. You know, if we want to say that Cirie is oblivious of even just like one tiny thing, you know, I think she still has a little part of her that is protective of Matt. I think she knows that Matt's not exactly innocent in a lot of what is going on, but it still feels like, you know, she maybe likes Matt somewhere maybe around here, and then like the other two is just like down here in the basement.
Yeah, Matt is not innocent in this.
No, he's not innocent at all. But ultimately, Cirie and Felicia, they're focusing, of course, their campaigns on Jag and Bowie Jane, and they have made similar arguments that, oh, the other person would be really hard to beat in the end. You know, Cirie's going to be really, really hard in the end. Felicia, she's going to be really, really tough to beat at the end. Do you want to sit at the end with Felicia? Cirie also reminded them that, you know, they promised her safety, which, you know, to me at least, it means that she's going to try to paint them as liars, either heading out the door or on the jury. It's sort of like a little bit of a guilt trip to throw out there if Jag and Bowie Jane were people who would actually be susceptible to that sort of thing.
Well, that's the thing, is that they're not really playing jury properly. They're not doing any jury management. So the idea that Cirie could be like, hey, I'll poison the jury, to them, they're just like, so what? You have to vote for one of us anyway. So what difference does it make?
Yeah, it's where they're going. And it's just such short-sighted. It's so short-sighted because, yes, one of these people, unless we do have the mass exodus key eating disaster going on in the finale, there's seemingly going to be a winner, and sure, you will get money, but you also have to deal with everything else that comes after the fact from BP Twitter.
Oh, good luck on BB Twitter.
Have fun, guys. You took the shovel, you have dug your own grave with your nastiness. Now you got to sit in it and lie in it and deal with it. Now, ultimately, Jag and Bowie had a conversation today, just a little bit earlier, about who to evict. And so I wouldn't say this is like full on typical waffling, like we kind of get, but they discussed it, and ultimately, you know, they've come to the same conclusion. Okay, Cirie is a bigger threat. Jag's out here suggesting that Cirie has been throwing competitions, which, I mean, maybe sure she's thrown a competition, but I don't think she's out here at like the final 5, final 6, just like throwing everything. He's just desperate to get her out because he knows that she's close to Matt, and that's, you know, a big danger to him.
Yes, and that would be the right thing for Jag to get her out, because she has been close to Matt. But I mean, throwing competitions, I mean, that's the three of them. They've been throwing a lot of stuff. I know that Jag has been winning a lot of stuff as well, but there's been a long period of time in this 100 days where they've been throwing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like
which might be why they're like, oh, maybe she's throwing. It's kind of like a cheater who's like, oh, I think you're cheating on me because I have 5 other girlfriends.
That is a comparison I did not think about until this moment, but that is very much apt for this situation. It's just, this is an interesting situation. I'm going to try to I'll take my emotions and I'll just throw them out of the room for a second here. And I'll just say, yes, it's the right move to get rid of Cirie versus Felicia. If I am Jag and I'm Bowie, I do not want Cirie moving forward. Like, that's fine. I hold no ill will for them doing that. It's just everything else that's going on that kind of complicates the picture. And I think because Cirie is so frustrated at Bowie Jane and Jag in particular. I think because maybe she's still holding out a little bit of hope for Matt. She's trying to paint this picture for him if possible, regardless of her own future in the game, that he's being played, that there's late night conversations going on between Jag and Bowie. Once again, I think her not being fully aware of just how involved Matt is in everything, but it's still pretty good advice to Matt that Matt should be getting rid of Jag at Final Four just for the sake of making it easier on himself.
Oh, for sure. I don't think he's beating Jag, but that's just my own personal opinion on that. But I mean, it's a good last ditch effort to try to do something.
Yeah, I think she wants to do whatever she can to make sure that the season just doesn't have the outcome that she wants, that she thinks it's going to end up having at this point. And this is what makes things a little bit interesting. Cirie this afternoon, she was just basically like, I hope Jag is stupid enough to bring Matt to the end, kind of suggesting that she would vote for Matt to win. And this is I think I agree with you that I think Jag will probably win versus Matt, but I think it's going to be really tricky because Jag's jury management, as we've said,
Mhm.
is really, really, really bad.
It's
And
true.
I'm not saying Matt's is amazing either. It's going to
No.
be an interesting sort of like back and forth
Mhm.
between the two. But I just want to know, like tinfoil hat on top of the hard hat here.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
is Cirie just going to end up, kind of riling Matt up here to the point where Matt gets so paranoid about Jag, Matt does end up evicting Jag at the Final Four, and maybe that does pave the way somehow for Felicia to make it to the Final Two. And if Felicia makes it to the Final Two at this point, does Felicia win this game?
Jury management matters, and making it this far in the game, she has won an HOH. Like, she's not on the board, and she is on the board, and she's been able to have a bit better jury
Yeah.
management here, and it does matter. If the three of them are sending everybody out the door, feeling like dum-dums, feeling bad about themselves, or being, particularly, mean, and thinking, talking about things that are even past just being mean, that it's just kind of like, if I'm the person that's voting and I can't choose to just eat my key, and Felicia's actually at the end, I'm giving it to her. Like, I don't want to go out of the house. You guys can be like in the comments, "Oh, you're a bitter juror." Correct. Because
Yeah.
jury management matters. It is part of the game. It is the most important part of the game. You have to make sure that you get that vote. If you don't do it, you are missing a huge part of the game. And that's how you lose, Paul
It's
and Tyler.
Yes, it is true on both counts. And this is the thing. I am right there with you. At this point, I would vote for Felicia if she made it to the final two, because that means that Felicia did something to break up this three-person group enough,
Mhm.
unless she just wins her way to the end, which is also possible. There are
Yes.
typically, a couple of mental comps, and Felicia has tried hard in a lot of competitions that she'll have a really good story, a really good argument. This is a big part of it, and this is something, you guys can clue us into the comments a little bit on this, because it's hard to kind of keep track of this in my head. I know the person who's evicted in Final Four, they just like show up for that like jury roundtable that Dr. Will and other people have hosted. But the person who's evicted in Final Five, how much time do they spend with the jury? And where I'm going with this is, if Cirie gets evicted, is she going to go to jury house and be like, okay, not only did Jag play me, Bowie play me, Matt play me, but they were also just really mean and not nice to me and Felicia, and she doesn't even know the full of it, but
No.
she knows enough that that could really sort of taint things. Like, I think at the end of the game, you want to see a winner who you care about, who you think is a good representation of the season. She's overcome so much in her life, and she's
Mhm.
also really taking care of people. Like, I know a lot of just like taking care of the house and helping people out and like doing those sort of little things. I know that's not strategy, but it shows the person who she is at the end of the day.
Absolutely. She's been taking care of the household, cooking, cleaning. Like, that's a lot, and you're doing it for, a large group of people. There's a lot of people still. There's 5 people there. Like, that's not a small household to take care of. And I think that as a strategy or not strategy, that can help, right?
Yeah.
Like if people are used to being taken care of or appreciate that
Mhm.
somebody is doing that kind of work for you in the house, then it might keep somebody in the game a little bit longer. Kind of like on Survivor, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
so and so is taking care of the camp here a lot and cooking the food or catching the fish or, cleaning up, whatever, our bed on the floor, like whatever it is in
Yeah.
Survivor. It's the same thing, right? Like that does matter and it helps, especially in a very long season. And this is a very long season.
You weigh the pros and the cons, and doing these things like you're saying, this is a significant pro for Felicia. Like a pro for Jag is, yes, he's won a lot of competitions, yes, he's made some strategic moves. The cons for Jag are he hasn't been nice in the house as of late. He's gone completely mad with power. He was previously evicted, which might hurt, might help him that he was able to get to this point. He was able to be HOH effectively 2 weeks in a row. I mean, those are production things. You can't fully blame him for taking advantage of what production did, but that might still be in people's head. So this is going to be complicated, but of course, a lot of this is just based on this real home run that Felicia somehow makes it to the end. And
Yes.
we'll see exactly what happens with that. Is Gordon Ramsay going to be the host of the next HOH
I don't
competition?
know.
If that happens, Felicia, welcome to the final three. Okay. Halloween party. This happened.
Halloween party. We just had a live stream
Yeah.
over on our Patreon Halloween party. It was really fun.
Our Halloween party was way more fun than anything that these people in the house got to do for Halloween. I mean, first of all, they gave them these like really bad generic costumes that were just like some weird wigs they were you guys are not okay, you guys are not a part of SAG-AFTRA. You don't have to follow the only non-licensed generic characters only thing here. I don't know what they could have at least dressed them like their BB Comics characters. It would have been better than whatever that was.
If you want to see a really good Halloween costume, head over to our Instagram, Matt and Jess TV, because Matt was a vampire, and yeah, it was really good.
It was our Halloween party was very, very fun, and you had a nice surprise costume
That's
as
the
well.
prize.
And okay, even for like the five of you who watched Big Brother over the top when that was on, that's the only other season really that's had Halloween, and they had past house guests come back to like trick or treat, and unless that happened when the feeds were down, they didn't even do that. They just like stuck them in a house. Well, they were already in the house, but they threw them some pumpkins, let them celebrate in their bad costumes, and then like after the fact, Jag didn't want to take a picture with all of the pumpkins, only his, Matt, and Bowie's, which is just another reason why I'm out on Jag and why I'm out on these three. It's just like, it's so unnecessary. Like, you don't have to be mean. It's not like you're just running around saying this stuff to their face or anything, but all three of them are still just repeatedly saying things that are just not nice, unfriendly for no reason. There's nothing to be gained strategically from any of it. Like, they're already a tight three. They don't need to like make these other two the bad people.
No, there's no reason for this. It's just being mean to be mean, immaturity. I don't know what it is of why all of a sudden we've hit the curve like this with these three. There's no reason for it. They have all the power. There's like, why continue on like this? Oh, I'm not even gonna take a picture with your pumpkins. What are you, 5?
It's such a cliche to use the phrase "absolute power corrupts absolutely," but I'm going to do it because this is kind of the psychological part of Big Brother that happens. And, I'm not saying that Big Brother turns you into a completely different person. It doesn't. But in certain environments, it can bring out the worst parts of yourself that maybe won't come out on a day-to-day basis. Like, I don't know any of these people in the real world. Like, I don't know how they act on a day-to-day. But this environment plus this power, it has brought something out of them that was at least they were always capable of, and it's just twisted and distorted it in this really uncomfortable way, and they're gonna have to deal with it when they come out of the house. Like, they're gonna be sent clips of them doing and saying all these things that are just really disappointing, and that's something that they will have to take on. I hope they take it on, apologize, don't make excuses for it, and just sort of own their behavior and try to be better. But
Hopefully, we'll see some interviewers out there. We're not, we don't
yeah,
do interviews here at the channel or anything like that. But hopefully, some interviewers will, hold their feet to the fire and actually get some answers out of them.
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, you guys don't blame it on the edit. Don't blame it on, we were in the house for so. You guys can still control yourself. Like I don't care whatever the excuses are. Go Felicia, you go and win that Final Four HOH.
And then you go into your room and you shut that door and you do not share your basket with anybody.
Yo, you just enjoy all of it yourself. Whatever they give you at this point. Okay, so let's talk about a silly idea here as we close this out. Matt and Jag, just like not long before we came on, trying to convince Felicia that they would each take her to Final Two. That way she doesn't try hard in the Final Four veto. Felicia's not a chump. Like, she's not going to do that. I mean, sure, she's maybe been convinced of things here or there, but this is the Final Four. If you throw the Final Four veto, you do not deserve anything. You should automatically be like deducted to like 8th place on the season.
No, Felicia is not here throwing competitions. Like I feel that she's going to try for it. She's really tried this season. I really appreciate that. I'm not saying she's played a perfect game or anything like that. Nobody has, but she's really tried. She's shown she wants to be there. Like she's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, please, oh my goodness, please. Dear God. It's me, Jessica. Please let Felicia win that final veto, please. Thank you. Sincerely, me.
And then
Matt.
Yes, I want to be included on this.
No, you're over.
Yeah,
you're over.
I've already swam over.
Yeah, we're here.
I want her to also stand up at the Final Four veto ceremony and be like, not just say I vote to evict. Just if you want to look at Jag or Matt, whoever's not the HOH in this situation, unless she's won both of them, just be like, I'm evicting you. Get out. Just say get out I would die on the floor.
Oh, it'd be so good.
It would be one of the greatest moments of the whole year. Okay, all right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Hit that subscribe button, though, because as Jess said, that helps us so much here at the channel to produce this content for you guys. Check back later for Survivor 45. We'll see you here next time.